The rain poured heavily that night, drenching the empty streets with a silence broken only by the sound of rushing water. A man in a tailored suit hurried along the sidewalk, his expensive shoes splashing through puddles. He was a billionaire, known to many, yet understood by none. Suddenly he noticed a stranger shivering under a broken street lamp, clutching a torn jacket, eyes hollow with hunger. For a moment, the billionaire thought of walking past, but something inside urged him to stop. He had no idea that helping this stranger would soon become the miracle that changed his life forever. Nathan Cole was a man who seemed to have everything: wealth, fame, influence, and power. At 45, he had built a massive empire of technology companies. His face appeared on magazine covers, his name was whispered in elite circles, and his decisions shaped the future of industries. Yet behind the closed doors of his penthouse, Nathan was a lonely man. His wealth had not protected him from the emptiness that haunted him every night. He often asked himself if money truly defined happiness. He had learned to smile in boardrooms but struggled to smile when he was alone. The glittering lights of the city reminded him of the life he had built, but not the life he had dreamed of. Something was missing, something deeper, something real. That rainy night, as his limousine broke down a few blocks away from his home, Nathan decided to walk. The streets were nearly deserted, the storm washing away the last signs of life. And there, under the dim glow of a flickering lamp, sat a stranger. The man's clothes were soaked, his hands trembling, and his face carried the marks of hardship. Most people would have looked away, but Nathan could not. He remembered a moment from his childhood when he and his mother had once been hungry, sitting in the corner of a shelter, waiting for someone, anyone, to notice them. That memory stirred inside him as he looked at the stranger. Without thinking, Nathan took off his coat and placed it over the man's shoulders. The stranger's eyes widened in disbelief. No one had spoken to him with kindness for months. His name was Daniel, a war veteran who had returned home to find nothing waiting for him: no family, no job, no support. Life had been merciless, pushing him onto the cold streets where survival became his only mission. Nathan knelt beside him and asked softly, "When was the last time you ate?" Daniel hesitated, ashamed, before whispering, 3 days ago. Nathan did not hesitate. He guided Daniel to a nearby diner that was still open, bought him a hot meal, and sat across from him while he ate. As Daniel devoured the food, tears rolled down his face. For the first time in years, he felt seen, valued, and human. But what Nathan did not know was that Daniel carried something that would soon transform his own life. In his worn backpack was a notebook filled with sketches and designs. Daniel had once been a mechanical engineer, and during his nights on the street he had continued drawing ideas, blueprints for machines that could change industries. As the rain outside softened, Daniel nervously showed Nathan a few of his sketches. Nathan was stunned. The drawings were brilliant, innovative, and full of potential. They were more than ideas. They were visions of the future. At that moment, Nathan realized something profound. Perhaps this encounter was not just about helping a stranger. Perhaps fate had brought them together for a reason larger than either of them could imagine. Over the next few days, Nathan invited Daniel to stay in one of his guest houses. He provided him with fresh clothes, medical care, and a sense of dignity that Daniel thought he had lost forever. In return, Daniel shared his ideas, explaining how his inventions could make technology more affordable for ordinary people. One design in particular caught Nathan's attention: a compact, energy-efficient device that could revolutionize clean energy in households. Daniel's sketches showed not just creativity but a deep understanding of real-world struggles. He wanted technology to serve humanity, not just the wealthy. Nathan, who had been searching for purpose beyond profit, felt a spark reignite within him. For years, his empire had been about numbers and market shares, but Daniel reminded him of something far greater: the power to change lives. Together, they began working on the prototype. Nathan invested resources, while Daniel poured in his knowledge and relentless spirit. The journey was not easy. There were failures, late nights, and moments of doubt. But slowly, the invention took shape. Months later, they unveiled the product to the world. Media outlets called it a miracle born out of kindness. Families across the nation benefited, and Nathan's company experienced not just financial growth but also a surge of respect and admiration. Yet the greatest transformation was not in the company, it was in Nathan himself. For the first time in years, he felt alive. He was no longer just a billionaire. He was a man who had found meaning. Daniel's life also transformed. No longer homeless, he became the chief engineer of Nathan's new division. His journey from the cold streets to global recognition was proof that miracles often start with a single act of kindness. Reporters asked Nathan why he had helped a stranger that night. He always answered the same way. Because someone once helped me when I was in need, and I promised myself I would never forget what that felt like. The story spread across newspapers, social media, and television. People were inspired, not just by the invention, but by the humanity behind it. Communities began organizing to support the homeless. Veterans received greater attention, and countless lives were touched by the ripple effect of Nathan's choice. One evening, standing on the balcony of his penthouse, Nathan looked at the skyline. The city lights glowed, but they no longer reminded him of loneliness. Instead, they reminded him of possibility, connection, and purpose. Daniel joined him holding 2 cups of coffee. They stood in silence, both men understanding that fate had written their paths together. "Do you ever think about that night?" Daniel asked. "All the time," Nathan replied with a smile. "It was the night I realized money is not the greatest wealth. Compassion is." And in that moment, Nathan knew the truth. Helping a stranger had not only changed Daniel's life, it had changed his own. When you reflect on this story, ask yourself, how many times have we walked past someone in need, convincing ourselves that it was not our responsibility? Nathan almost did the same. But that small decision to stop, to offer help, became the turning point of 2 lives, and eventually, the lives of millions. The miracle was not the invention alone. The miracle was the chain reaction of kindness. Daniel's ideas might have remained hidden forever if Nathan had ignored him, and Nathan's emptiness might have continued if he had chosen wealth over compassion. Every day, opportunities surround us. Opportunities to smile at a stranger, to share a meal, to listen to someone's story. We never truly know what ripple effect our smallest actions can create. Perhaps the next miracle is waiting in the moment we choose to notice. So, as you move forward in your life, remember Nathan and Daniel. Remember that compassion is not weakness. It is the strongest force that binds us together. And perhaps the next time you see someone in need, you will pause, you will act, and you will become the miracle in their story. Because one act of kindness has the power to change not just another life, but your own, your